like to ask something else, if it's possible, because in this last meeting, we were saying share this link to anyone you feel guided to, correct? Does that mean that we can, when we have these meetings, for example, instead of making private meetings, like I've talked to this man in England, you know, and could I send him the link of this Zoom so he could come in to this meeting? Or what does it exactly mean to share with the people that you feel guided to out of the contributors group?
Right. So in the contributors meeting, if we've got ones that are coming in that don't know about GPMS, then it would be a GPMS meeting, really giving the insight and explaining GPMS through what could be limited concepts and other reasons and other ideas coming in. And it's much more than a one-on-one, or much more than a defined meeting for what they may bring to the table and see as a problem or an obstacle, to align them more to GPMS and what it is. So the contributors inside GPMS already know what GPMS is. They've already got on board. They've already got the fundamental foundations of GPMS. Yes, they may still have questions, but they're not, do I join? What is it? And these fundamental questions. So this is a sort of step up, if you will, from those that are asking questions as to what is GPMS. We're more than happy to run those meetings, but that's not really a contributor meeting where everybody is already contributing and doing things, and they're asking questions about maybe other things. So it keeps it more, we can invite many into here, but it won't be a contributors meeting. Then what it will be is a why GPMS discussion. Do you get what I mean? So there is a slight difference. Of course, you could bring people in. It depends what they bring to the table. So this is why with this, I don't mind. I really don't mind.
Yeah, but how about
Yolanda? May I ask a question?
Yeah, just a minute, Emily. Could it be possible that, because I think it would be an absolutely amazing idea if then and now, for example, once every 2 months or something like that, we could actually do a meeting like this to talk about GPMS to those that are still in that space, you know, that they don't know. Wouldn't that be good? Instead of, you know, because
all of those videos are already on the GPMS website, on the YouTube channel. So all of the videos we did for that are already there. They're all recorded and they're all open to the public. They are getting more refined. Sorry. I will just refuse to admit people shortly who keep their microphones open. I just no, but we are getting more refined in what it is that we're talking about. But that's within the GPMS community. So bringing people, yeah, you see the difference. Yes, we can. Q&As we run. Well, we used to run all the time, but what we found was nobody was turning up, and there wasn't. You know, it was just the same questions and answers that we were giving to each other, and they're all on the website. They're all on the YouTube. So if anybody does wish to look, they could. Of course, people like to have the up-to-date version or be involved, but it's all there. So yes, if basically the answer is yes. If there's a requirement, I'll run one tomorrow. We can run them wherever, whoever can run them. It doesn't matter. But there isn't a requirement.
What were you saying, Emily? Sorry, darling sister, beautiful.
No, I just felt the intensity of what you were talking about and how important it might be for us to open that up again. Yeah. I know we've had it closed for multiple reasons because we've all done so much work to get us here where we are now. Myself, I don't like to regurgitate messages. I don't like to say things over and over and over and over and over and over. And I got tired of it. I'm being honest. I got sick and tired of doing it. So if it is a need, if you're feeling a need within the collective for us to open that up, then I feel it is important to do that. But like Lee said, I am not interested in opening up a communication where no one's going to show up. And I'm not going to, do you understand? I don't want to waste my time or my energy on anything. I'm too busy having fun.
There is, Emily's bang on with this. There is a point where we've got to where we need to, I say this without any ego, but GPMS needs to be approached now by others, not GPMS reach out to others to try to get them on board. No, others need to approach to a certain degree and ask their own questions, as opposed to us try to pull them in and give them the answers that they're seeking. They may not even know. This is the same thing what Emily's talking to with feeling the force and the grace. So trying to get these meetings together to give people the answers they seek, no, they've got to come and ask the questions. They've got to come and request the meetings, not just us necessarily feel that, oh, if we run this, they might. If you build it, they will come. To a certain degree, that doesn't work in this. It's fascinating what's going on. We will hold more Q&As. They will be done openly. There will be more coming on board that have got questions that will be revised and revisited at those times. In the background, other meetings are going on and they're all being recorded and they're still on the YouTube site, but they might not be open for the public yet, but they are open for the groups and the representatives and the contributors for GPMS, should they wish to see them, and they can share those links too, albeit they're not public. So again, this is that organic movement, this ripple, and how that looks moving forward, I don't know. I haven't got, yes is the answer, Yolanda, but not in the contributors meeting.
No, maybe, but I understand what you're saying, but I do have the feeling that it could be something nice. I know you, Leah, and Rick are so busy with other things, and others like Dan also, and the rest are also busy, but not at the extent that you are. Maybe
everybody's doing their own work.
But anyway, maybe we could, what I was thinking at this moment, or what I was feeling, is that, between a few, and Dean, Emily, Mariana, she wants to come in also, and other that's out there, we could maybe do, apart from the GPMS contributors, a little link or little group, so we can have these meetings once we have a few that would like to come in and hear more about GPMS. Does that resonate with anyone?
Absolutely. And this is what we've been calling for a while.
Let me just add to that a little bit, Yolanda. So in the sense of what we've been doing in Uganda with me and Den, we've been trying to host these spaces quite a bit in regards to bringing the information through. And what we find, Yolanda, is a lot of them don't fully take all the information in at once. And we've had more success with these videos Den's been doing and sending them to the individual, because then they can go over it and allow it to go into their consciousness. So the meetings have felt like it's just been an absolute waste of time and they've gone round in circles. That's not to say that won't happen. It'd be the same in every country, but it just gave us a blueprint to actually these videos that we're just sending over quick allows somebody to go through it quick and come back to it if they're stuck. You see what I mean? But on another note, to organising meetings to sit down with individuals, we've been doing that all the way along, Yolanda. Rick and Lee's been doing many of that. All I'm saying to you now is we can carry on doing that, and you just all you do is reach out to me or whoever's available at the time, and then we get on a Zoom and we do the meeting. But a question and answers, we've been trying to do this in many different locations. Emily was trying to do it on Twitter, so was I. We've tried to do it in Clubhouse. We've tried to do what you're talking to a few times, and maybe it wasn't ready then, and maybe it could be ready now, but we'll have to put it to the test. But the success with the videos and the little snippets of information has been a lot more successful with individuals because they can re-watch it and keep going over it.
Let's not look at what we did prior as unsuccessful and more successful. They're just different ways, right? They're just different ways. So what's proving easier at the moment is the small snippet videos, but it's all successful. It's all seeds. And this, what Rick's just put in, is reps having meetings in the countries and answering questions that way. Yeah, of course, but this will happen. It's just they're not there yet. And this is the dissemination of that and the creation of that actually happening. So what you said a minute ago, Yolanda, about you, Mariana, Emily, Beatrice, and Dean, or whatever, hosting a meeting. So go and do it. Bring others into that one and see what happens. Because it's all experimentation. That's all we do. See what happens.
but I feel guided for this. So yeah,
Perfect.
maybe we could do it and see what happens, you
Yes,
know.
with no expectation.
And it's also nice because, you know, we don't have that much opportunity apart from here than just to connect with each other a little bit more. And that's going to be nice.
That's what I was just about to say.
I miss you all.
Connect with love.
Perfect.
At least we're going to connect with love. That's all that matters.
Beatrice, you got your hand up.
Yeah, so regarding everything that Yolanda said, I believe that she is right. This is part of my work for 3 years every day. We have also GPMS meeting every evening, 7 p.m. Ontario, Toronto time. And we started also to have like 1 hour per week until the people will gather more for Romania. Thank you so much, Yolanda. We open also Turtle Island, Divine Law, Universal Natural Law as chat on Telegram account. So it's just to move forward GPMS and also to keep the people a little bit in touch with the news. But the news, more we move forward with GPMS, more light we bring forward, more I believe that the news that happens practically will go down. So we will be the news in the future. So we are the government. We are speaking right now against the government, but practically we, the 99%, all of us, we are the government. So it's the future. It's for us and will be about us. So I was also in a meeting speaking about also other possibility, not only website, not only Zoom room, not only chat, but also to be inside of many platforms. So this will be great if we can have accounts. This will be part of online working. And also, you know, it's also when you go to the shopping just to meet the people and let them like a flyer and try to speak a little bit. We never know. I had also many opportunity there. So let them the flyer on the hand because they will have the information and they will have a start point. So this is just amazing. And yes, it is exactly what Yolanda said. So we saw the people that in the past, they move in another direction, like for example, political parties, and they were attracted, for example, last year from the natural law solution and they questioned and they were coming on the meeting, but practically they never moved forward speaking about GPMS. But right now, this year, they question more. So they need a point where they need to come and to restart their conversation. And regarding speaking, telling to the people 1,000 times the same thing, this happened to me. It's just coming as my normal life for the moment until anyway the information will be known enough that it's not necessary to repeat this information. So after 3 years, just to have an example, after 3 years, I started to hear in like 2 months ago, God-given rights. So it was for the first time that the people finally associated something a little bit in mass with what we are speaking. And they started, some of them, to recognize natural law, but not all of them. So this is just moving forward. And even that I repeat thousands of times, for me, it's like coming from the normal status until this will be not normal because the information will be enough known and it will be not necessary. So regarding myself, I have no problem to wait to open my cell phone if I am on the city for a Zoom room for 1 hour, or if I'm at home to the computer. And just waiting if the people are coming, and we never know who will knock to the door and from where to start. So it's just my pleasure. And for sure, I invite everyone that wants to join. It doesn't matter the language. If we have one that we be able to understand each other, this is just amazing. But sure, we can share, because in universal natural law there is no competition. There it's only helping each other and coming together and coming with proposed projects that we can move forward. So why not? So it's not, how can I say, think a little bit to the 6 billion of people. We cannot put 6 billion of people, all of them in relation directly with Rick and Lee. This is not possible because the hour has only 24 hours, but it's up to us, of all of us, to spread the message and to bring this information out. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Beatrice.
Over to you, brother. You got your hand up. Give me a couple of minutes. Rick, can you take it over for a second?
Yeah. I just wish to say, when you're setting up any meetings or what have you, in answering any questions, you can check with and if I'm available, I can jump in on these, if I'm available. And Emily has done this before, and in the beautiful times, then, I can jump in for a few minutes, answer a couple questions, or also add that support. So with this, I'm just saying, if any of you, have any of those meetings, you can just let me know if you wish, and I can come in at any time to assist with that. Also, as we keep going forward, as we're seeing, many more are awakening, but then many more also are now coming back, paying more attention. So this is the evolution with GPMS. And one of those things, yes, after a while you get tired of repeating the same things, but it's still necessary yet, because one of the reasons we don't have all of the representatives in all of the countries yet, and they are out there, and by us being there, when we need to be answering the questions, you're going to get more of your representatives, and also your administrative councils for the different regions and countries. So we always also need to be conscientious that this is occurring, to be open to it. And yes, we may find ourselves regurgitating things, but it's in the moment that it's important. And as we're seeing, when ones have questions, also, they don't wish to go and look through hours of videos to get the answers, although we do have some pretty refined videos. If it's hand fed to them, then that is fine. But if they're searching on their own, more or less, it's a little bit more challenging to find the right one. And having said this, on our new website, we should just have one or two that covers all of this, so that then they don't have so much to wade through as well, ideally in the future. So it is important, at least we need to build the representation of GPMS in each region. And it's important that we keep open to that we don't close it off and restrict it as well. I just wish to say, and it's everyone's choice, the way that you do it, that is the right and divine way, but it is important to keep open. Thank you.
Spent the best part of 2 years working out different perspectives to not say the same thing over and over, but say the same thing differently. It's brilliant. I'm the same as you, dear sister Emily. I don't like Rick. I say it 2 or 3. That's enough. So now I've had to learn to say it in many, many different ways differently.
Yeah, but have you not noticed, Emily, as well, as you keep moving forward, every soil you come to, it's always different. It that support and that love that soul needs in that little bit of a moment, just before you bring him GPMS, it always looks different. And I like that part than speaking the same thing over and over again.
Doing the same thing differently. This is what everybody's doing, the same thing differently.
Well, I have to say,
I'm definitely open, Yolanda. I'm definitely open to hosting another Twitter space. If anybody you're talking to is on Twitter, I'm completely open to doing that. I've done it in the past, but I've learned that if it's a gpms.world Twitter space, it has to be committed to only that topic. So like the timing and everything, I have to schedule it. I have to let people know that it's going to happen and give people time for them to even participate in any meetings that I have.
Well, I
would love it if more people would come to me and say, hey, I really want to know what you're talking about all the time, but that hasn't happened yet. So I'm just going, I'm just along for the ride.
But for example, I have to say, sister, that mostly of the people that they contact me are Facebook and want Zoom. That is the mostly that people want to come into. So
let's do something. Let's say something. Let's put something into the ether out there, and let's say, what are we on? The 23rd. Let's say in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to do an open day, a GPMS open Zoom. And let's run that and see who turns up. So let's pick a date out of the hat. Somebody pick a date, put it in the contributors. On this day, we're going to run an open Zoom. Give me a little bit. I'm happy to host it because I got that. I can do this because it's paid for. But let's do that. And then if there are others with questions or others with this, and we can send emails out to people and say, we are hosting an open Q&A about GPMS on this day with this link.
So let's pick that day now then, Lee. So let's give ourselves a few weeks so then we can invite people in if we make a date right in this moment. On another note, Yolanda, when you get them people reaching out with links with Zoom and Facebook and anything like that, like I said, don't worry. Just send me a message, say, Dean, are you available? Are you free?
Yeah, I will do. You know, there's another thing. I have been talking with a person also from Tunis, you know, the Arab in Tunis, and, you know, they're very they're religious with their Quran, but he understood perfectly what I was talking about. He could see the damaged part of religions, what they've done and all this, although he had to grasp a lot of things because I had to send him a lot of information, what was really happening, you know, in the deep state, the system that we had, so he could see the evilness behind everything, you know. So it's been a bit of, but he now understands and he's open for to sign. Actually, he says, I need your help to be able to get. I say, yeah, sure, we can get the consentment, you know. So and for example, there's 3 people that I have to meet up to talk. For example, you know, they're waiting for me to give them, but it would be ideal if we're going to do this in a couple of weeks, say, okay, you can come in here, we will be there, and you can ask any questions that you like, you know. But hey, it's me, whatever other people can have, it could be something, and see what comes out of there.